Good evening. This is Brian Shannon from Alpha Trends Blogspot. It's Monday night, September 25th, 2006. And I've got the S&P 500 on the screen right now, looking at a weekly time frame. This is the SPY, the spiders. And you can see here that the market did make a slightly higher high today, intraday that is, not on a closing basis. But it did make a nice high, higher high. And, I still stand by what I've been saying for the last couple of weeks, which is we're in overbought territory. We're getting into an area where there's the potential to find sellers, and that regardless of what the overall market does, there's still going to be great opportunities in the individual stocks. But because we are at these what I consider to be pretty important levels on the S&P 500 and on the Nasdaq, and we saw a nice recovery in the mid-cap stocks today, although they're not completely out of the woods yet until they get back up above that 200-day moving average, I think, and then hold there for a while. We're going to continue to look at good long and short opportunities. I found more long opportunities for today, actually, for Tuesday rather than shorts, and wasn't really too confident in what I found in the short side either. So we'll take a look at what we've got here and see if we can make some money. Before we do continue with these stock ideas, though, take a moment to look at this disclaimer to realize that you're on your own with these stocks ideas. I'm only offering suggestions for entertainment purposes only. And once the market opens, these ideas become your own if you decide to do anything with them. With that said, let's go ahead and take a look at a couple stocks. Now, I've been looking at this stock, Angeion, symbol ANGN. Tried to buy it back in here, and it broke down. Didn't give us a real good reason to buy. But this broke out a couple weeks ago on some real big volume. The average daily volume has been increasing nicely, although today it only traded 240,000 shares, which is why I'm a little bit hesitant to suggest buying this stock. But, the average daily volume is 570,000 shares right now. And looking at a weekly time frame, it's broken out to, what looks like all-time highs in here on some earnings, I guess. So I think the stock looks like it ought to continue higher from here. It's just closed back above this 5-day moving average. The 5-day moving average has flattened out. I do own some of this stock, just so you know. I have a small position in it, and I think I'll probably add to it tomorrow. But just wanted to make sure that you realize that I did indeed have a position in it. What I'd like to see happen would be maybe an early morning pullback down towards $7 a share, and then see the stock take out today's high near about $17.23. Getting back above that level, I think that puts the buyers back in control. And, you could even buy some down near 7. Like I said, I do own some stock. I bought it down in here today, a little bit premature, but only a small position. Because it is a thinly traded stock, I wanted to get in before I got up to the bathroom and see that it took off on me. But I'm looking for it to rally up to about $8.15 short term. So I think there's about $1 a share of upside in it. And I think your risk is below about $6.80 on ANGN. Next up, we've got BLUD. This is Immucor Incorporated, symbol BLUD again. Looking at a weekly time frame, it's getting up towards these all-time highs near $24 a share. And $24 a share, actually about $23.50 is going to be our upward target, just near these recent highs. These recent highs are $23.65. What I would like to see happen in BLUD would be, first of all, for a pullback down towards about $23.15, and then I want to buy the stock above $22.40. Again, my target is these highs right around $23.50, and I'd put my stop in at about $22.05 is where I would put the stop. So risking about 35 cents to make the potential of about $1.10. So a little better than a 1 to 3 risk-reward ratio. Theoretical risk-reward ratio. Diodes Incorporated, symbol DIOD. Stock broke out to an all-time high here. It's definitely extended on the longer term, but that doesn't mean it can't keep going higher. It broke out on big volume with a gap here. It's pulled back to the rising 10-day moving average on lighter volume. Volume picked up a little bit in there today. And what I'd like to see in here, you can see that the 5-day moving average is declining. I'd like to give that a little bit of time to flatten out. So I'd like to see the stock pull back first below $44 a share. It needs to get under $43 a share, and then I'd buy it above $44.20. But I would put my stop at about $43.78. So your risk in there would be about 42, 43 cents, and with a target up near 47, 47.50. If we are to get involved in this stock, it makes for a very nice upward target potentially for DIOD. Real Network. I've got someone's been emailing me a bunch saying, "What do you think about it now? What do you think about it now?" And I've been telling them for the last 2 weeks I really don't like the way it's set up. I forgot who that was. Maybe Jim is his name. But anyways, Real Network I think has kind of proven itself again here. The stock gap down, if you remember, a couple weeks ago after someone downgraded this thing, and there's a very big short position. It was kind of suspicious that it got 2 downgrades, but the stock has managed to get back most of those losses. So the good news is that since the downgrades occurred, actually the downgrade occurred right here on this day when the stock closed at 1068. So we see it's here at 1077. Anyone that sold it down there, if the shorts were trying to push it lower, well, they're trapped. We got some of the weak longs out of the stock, and the stock is getting ready, I think, still to break out. On this, look at this monthly time frame. It's got a massive base that it's built in here, and I think you can see the stock up near 12 plus here in the relatively short term. So what I want to see occur in Real Networks is first a pullback down to $10.65. Once it pulls back, then we want to set an alert and get back involved in this thing on strength above $10.80. At that point, my stop was going to go at $10.58 below here. And again, I'm looking for above $12 a share for this stock. So I think there's maybe a $1.25 in the stock, $1.20 with a potential risk of about 32, 33 cents. So again, makes for a nice risk reward ratio. And let's take a look at a couple of shorts. Like I said, I wasn't thrilled about the shorts, but Teva Pharmaceutical, TEVA, looking at a weekly time frame, you can see it's broken down and it rallied back up here on what was diminishing volume and then started turning sideways. Looks like the sellers retook control late last week with this gap lower. Now the stock's rallied up slightly right to this 5-day moving average. I still want to see a little bit more strength just because we've got some strength in the market. I'd like to see the stock get up to $33.90 tomorrow. And if it does that and then drops down below 33.60, that's when I'm going to sell the stock short. So rallies up to 33.90, then I'm going to be looking for weakness below 33.60, telling me that those buyers are trapped and the momentum is turned back lower. My stop would then go at 33.98, so I'd be risking just about 40 cents in the stock, but I think it can drop down to 32 and a half, maybe even $32 a share for Teva Pharmaceutical, TEVA. Lastly, I've got Zoran Corp, symbol ZRAN, and you can see here on the weekly time frame, this is a busted stock, and on the daily time frame, it looks like it's getting ready for another push lower. In here, we've got the 10 below, the 20 below, the 50-day moving average. The stock just found resistance at that 50-day moving average. Now, in here, the stock is I think it's had enough of a little bit of a rally. What I want to see now is, looking at a 5-minute time frame, I want to see it trade below this 1605. I'd sell the stock short below 1605, put my stop right up above this high here. This is 1625, so maybe a risk of about 27 cents. And I think the stock can drop back down towards about this $15 level. So I think there's a potential for about $1 of opportunity and maybe 25, 30 cents of risk. And that's going to do it for today. My name again is Brian Shannon. Thanks for listening, and best of luck trading tomorrow.